Ghost Island Media.
Lots of things have been happening around the world in terms of clean technology, or clean tech, since we last spoke. The U.S. has passed the Inflation Reduction Act, or IRA, unlocking billions of dollars in new investments for clean technologies like geothermal, hydrogen, and electric vehicles. Europe is also facing its own energy crisis, and clearly the world is in need of new energy solutions, especially here in Taiwan. I wanted to see what has happened in the past year with energy now that Taiwan has set a net zero target. So what better place to learn than to go to the largest renewable energy conference, Energy Taiwan. This 3-day annual exhibition brings together Taiwanese renewable energy developers, manufacturers, institutional experts, academics, government officials, along with international counterparts to try and create new connections and fix this energy situation. So, of course, I had to be there. Play the tape. This is Waste Not, Why Not, a sustainability science podcast from Ghost Island Media, and I'm Nature Nate, an environmental consultant working on energy, ocean, and waste. Hi everyone, Nature Nate here at Energy Taiwan 2022. And wow, it's nice to be back at an expo in person. It's a big year for Energy Taiwan as tourism is now open, so it's a lot easier for international guests to come, and there's no real COVID restrictions. Energy Taiwan has 5 categories: solar, wind, smart storage, which is about batteries, emerging power, which is about hydrogen, geothermal, tidal, and net zero Taiwan, which is kind of a catch-all for anything related to net zero. Big booths, way bigger than I've ever seen. Rocket ships, goats, models, there's beer, there's espresso bars, contests, there's wave games you can play. The solar and wind booths are extravagant and large with multicolored lighting. There's even ice cream in the shape of the world. Goats, that's right. Live, living goats. Are those real? And sure enough, they were real. We could smell that they were real. There was 3 little goats wearing black and gold vests, and the solar panel developer was trying to show off the fact that you could have solar panels above and then goats below. The goats eat the grass, and they kind of help with maintenance of a solar field, so it's a win-win. Never seen anything like that before. It really seems like Energy Taiwan has kind of come into its own and is now a significant energy conference. We see a lot of familiar companies like Ørsted, CIP, and even some smaller familiar companies like Sunny Founder, Yangguang Futajia. Then we see a lot of smaller companies as well, very specific things that I couldn't really relate to, things like screws or specific wiring and power stations. We see experimental technologies that are sort of proof of concept, like floating solar. We saw solar panels that are in the shape of flowers that spin and follow the sun. It's really clear that this year Energy Taiwan is getting serious. Originally it was just wind and solar, some batteries, and maybe a hydrogen booth. But now we have multiple hydrogen booths. We even have sort of silly things like foldable bikes that are hybrid with hydrogen. We see electric vehicle companies, electric vehicle charging stations, virtual power plants, and then of course government booths. And it really is a lot bigger than previous years. There's the German office, the Belgian office, the British office. I didn't see a US office in Energy Taiwan, but maybe next year they can come. So while it's exciting for Energy Taiwan and all these booths are great, I'd like to see a little bit more, especially with the new net zero plan out. We came here specifically looking for new and alternative energies. Tidal, geothermal, what types of energy efficiency, what types of energy storage would be on display. And there is some of that, but it's really not what you would expect. There's also very little biomass. It's really just solar and wind, along with batteries. So why is Energy Taiwan bigger than previous years? To me, this is a signal that the renewable energy sector in Taiwan has really come into its own. bigger companies, successful projects. We now have offshore wind up. We now have more and more solar sites being developed. And there's money coming back into these companies, and they feel confident to spend more on marketing, to have a bigger booth, to have more of these materials, to have goats, for example. These are all marketing expenditures that companies, especially companies here in Taiwan, wouldn't make unless they thought that there was a return on the investment or it was something they needed to do for branding. So seeing it be bigger this year, to me, is a signal that overall the sector in Taiwan is really maturing and becoming a lot more healthy and diverse, and having these things that other energy sectors in the rest of the world, like in the US and Europe, kind of take for granted. So this feels like a real serious energy show, not just like a government-sponsored energy show to help manufacturers. This really does feel like very dynamic. There's networking, there's people milling about, trading. It's exciting.
I'm Nature Nate, and this is Waste Not, Why Not, a sustainability science podcast about energy, ocean, and waste. This is a Ghost Island Media production recorded today in Taipei at Energy Taiwan 2022. Emily Y. Wu is our producer. Gerald Williams is our production assistant. Theme tune by Dak Chang. Show logo by Southwick Graphics. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.